Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Stripe to n8n or connect your n8n workflow to Stripe so that anytime payment is made by your customers or by your customer, your workflow will be able to capture the payment data and save it in a Google Sheet. So it's going to save the product ID, the product name, product description, the price, which also represents the amount that is paid by the customer, then the customer's name, the customer's email, and the date the payment was made. So I have created a Google Sheet here for the demo before we do the setup. Then I've also created a workflow. This is how it's going to look like. It's a very simple workflow with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes. Let's just execute this and see if we are able to actually populate. So what I'm going to do is just to go and execute the workflow. So it's waiting for the trigger event. So the trigger event is actually the payment. So I'll come back to the payment section here. I'll add an email. Then I'll use a test credit card provided by Stripe, which is used for testing purposes. For the date, just add any month as long as it's later than today. So I'm going to add November 2025. Then the credit number, security number, I'll add anything. For the name, I'm just going to use Roderick. That. Then I'll pay. So thanks for your payment. You see that. If I come back to this, it has been executed, workflow executed successfully. Then if we go to the Google Sheet, you'll see that that has been added there. The same product and the same description for the product, but you can see now the customer is different. I actually used the same email and the date of payment is also recorded there. So if you look at the pricing is in Kenya shillings. So Stripe has converted that. Let me just go back and show you that it's actually converted from the dollars. So in dollars, it's $12. And the reason why we have it as 1,200 is that Stripe converts everything to cents. So if you set your price in dollars, then in the API or in the dashboard, it's going to work with the cents. So it multiplies that by 100. That's why we have 1,200 cents here. So that is enough for introduction. Let's now do the setup. This is my n8n dashboard. I'll go ahead and create a workflow. So this is an empty workflow. I'll also sign into my Stripe account. So I'm using the Sandbox account. So when you sign up for Stripe, you'll get a test account. Then you can proceed and create a Sandbox account. So I'll just type Stripe here. Then click on the first link and click on sign in. So it's loading, signing in. Let's give it a few seconds. So I'm in my Sandbox account, and even my API keys are visible here. So I'll be able to reset these keys after recording the video. So there are no any security concerns. So the first thing I'll do is just to create a product that we want to test. So when I click on product catalog, you can see that I have one product listed here. So I'll go ahead and create a new one from scratch. So I'll give it a name. I'll just call it product 2. Then description, say this is product 2. Right? And the payment option is 1. Like not recurring, but just a checkout that the customer pays once. So it's known as one-off. Then the price, I'll enter $10. Then I can also upload an image here. I'll use the same image I've used in the other products, but you can upload any image as long as it's not more than 2 MB. So it's uploading. So this is my image. So I'll go ahead and add the product. And you can see that it appears in the list of my product catalog. So the next thing I'll do is just click on the product and create a payment link that I can share with the customers. So after clicking on that, click on these 3 dots and you'll have an option here to create a payment link. So it gives you a review on how this payment link is going to open in the customer's screen. So this is the large screen and this is the mobile screen. So I'll just go ahead and create and this is the payment link. So I'll copy that, go to this other browser, just paste the payment link there. So if I open it, see that it appears like this. And you can see that this is the Sandbox account. So the money that is within the account is just the placeholder, fake money. We're also going to use the fake card that is provided by Stripe for testing out the payment. So I'll go back to the workflow and add a module. The module I want here is Stripe, so I'll search for Stripe. And we have several triggers here, but the trigger that we want is known as a session or a checkout session. So when the customer opens this payment link, then enters the card credentials and pays, and the payment is completed. So the session that will be created there is known as checkout.session then .completed. So session completed. So let's look for that. So I'll just search for checkout. Then it's only one checkout, session completed. So I'll click on that. Then because it's going to use the webhook URL, we are not interested in that. I have several Stripe accounts or connections here. I'll just go ahead and create a new one. And here I'm supposed to enter the secret key. So I'll click on Stripe. Pause in this other browser. Just on the search bar, search for API. And you'll see that we have developers, then API keys. So I'll click on that and I'm able to get my secret key. In normal circumstances, you're not supposed to just reveal your keys, especially the production keys, because this is very sensitive. Someone can use this to withdraw your money or transfer your money. But for my case, this is for development, and also I'm able to set the key after recording the video. So I'll just copy that and go back to n8n, and then paste the secret key there, then click on save. So after saving, I'll just close this. Then see my session completed is selected as an event that the trigger is supposed to listen to. So I'll go ahead and execute so that it starts listening. Then I'll make the payment here. I'll add my email address. So you can just add any email address because it's for testing purposes. Then the specific card number that is provided by Stripe for testing is 424242 until you fill all the numbers. Then for the date, select a month that is later than today. So I'm just going to select November 2025. Then for the security number, just choose any number. For the card holder name, I'm just going to put Godric Epale, which is my name. Then I'll go ahead and pay. And you can see the payment is successful. Go back to n8n. You'll see that I have results here. So it is a large JSON object. We have the session key here, or ID. Then we have the subtotal expenditure, which means that the payment has been confirmed. And you see that scroll down, you're able to get some more information here, like the payment in my country's currency, the discounts if there are any. Then also the customer that paid is indicated. But there's one thing missing. The thing that is missing is the product that this customer paid for. So we shall be able to get the product using this session ID. From the session ID, we can locate the price. Then from the price, we can locate the product. So let's do that. So Stripe, n8n that doesn't provide a node that automatically does that, like a Stripe node for that. But there is a way around that using the HTTP node. So I'll go ahead and get an HTTP node. Maybe before I do that, I also want to show you that this gives us also the date when the session was completed or created, which is this one here. So that date is in a Unix system, and we want to just convert it to a system that is readable, like we are able to know the day and we are able to know the month and the year when the payment was made. But you can dig deeper so that you can even get the hours. So we need to transform this using a JavaScript code, and for that case, I'm going to search for the code node, which is this one here. You can see that there are several languages, not several, but actually two. So we have JavaScript and we have Python. So I'm going to use JavaScript for this case. I'm just going to Control A, select everything here, and remove the code that is initially there. Then I want to return an object. So within the object, I want to pass a key known as the formatted date. So to format this into a day, a month, and a year, we need to use the date function from JavaScript. So I'll create a new instance of date, which is written like this. So within this new date, I'll pass the date created variable. So I'll just drag it and drop it there. Then I'll multiply that by 100. Actually, I'll multiply it by 1,000. Then after doing that, we need to transform everything to local date string. So we need to pass another function known as to local date string, which is this one here. So within this function, we need to specify our locality. So I'm in Kenya, so I'll use the Kenyan English, which is en, then KE. Then I'll also pass another parameter. So we need at least two parameters there. So the other parameter is just an object that specifies the way the day is supposed to look like. So I'll pass day key. and the day is supposed to be 2 digits. So it's even suggested there. Then the month is also supposed to be 2 digits. Then for the year, we are going to have a number, numeric. So I'll just pass numeric there. And our function is complete. You don't need to worry about this if you're not familiar with coding. You can just ask ChatGPT how you can convert this into day, month format, and it will give you this function. So if I execute this, see that the date is now formatted to 17th September 2025. Then I'll go ahead and now get the pricing using the session ID. So if you come to Stripe API documentation, let me just search for Stripe docs. There is a lot of data. Yeah. So our interest is getting product data from Stripe session. So just search for something like this and you'll be able to get or take you to the right documentation. So we need to retrieve the checkout session reference and see that there are several programming languages listed here, but we are going to use the HTTP, which is just similar to Perl. So this is, let me just zoom it. This one here is the URL. It's a long URL. And this is supposed to be dynamic and unique. This is the session ID. If we go back to our workflow and open this, you'll see that we get the session ID here when we listen to that event. So we need to pass that in the URL. Then you also need to authenticate because Stripe is not going to allow anyone to just get data from this URL using the session ID if that person is not authenticated. So this one here is a secret key. So we need to pass a secret key connected to our account. So let's do that. First of all, I'm just going to copy the whole of this. This is the session expire. We want session items. Yeah, line items. Yeah. So for the line items, we are going to copy this URL like that, and go back to the workflow and just create a new node, and the node is going to be HTTP request. So within the HTTP request, the method, there are several methods, but we need to use the get method. Then we just pass the URL there. But remember, I say that the session ID is supposed to be dynamic based on, because each session is going to be unique. So I'll remove the session that we have there right now and just expand it so that at least I'm able to, first of all, go to this node where Stripe session is retrieved. Then I'll just drag this. Make sure it falls in the right place. So right now you can see it's falling outside the area that we need. So I'll just cut it and paste it inside here. So it's now in the right place. I just expand it like that. Apart from that, we need authentication, and the one that we are going to use is known as a generic credential type. Then under the generic type, we just select basic authentication. Then under the basic authentication, we need to create a credential. So the credential here now is the Stripe secret. So just go back and copy the Stripe secret, and I'll paste it here and save it. So when we save it, you can see that the credential has been created successfully. We can execute and see if we are able to get the price ID, also the product ID, the other side. Good. So now if you look at this new output, we have a lot of useful information, more of useful information as compared to the first output that was just giving us the session ID and the customer that was doing the payment. Now we get the total amount and even the price ID. Now, this is reading 1,200 because by default Stripe works with cents. So our price of $12 is converted to 12 cents. Then we have the price ID here. We even have the product description. This one stands for the product name, which is this product 2. Then the other thing that we have is the product ID. I'm not wrong. So we have the product ID, and we have, no, this is the price ID, sorry, this is the price ID, but within the price we have the expenditure, that is what we are spending the money on. So it's this product, the product ID is here. So from the product ID, we can even get the product description and many more information about the product. Let's do that again using the HTTP request. I'll go to the docs and search for product. How do we get a specific product data? So if you search for product, we have the product object, create product, update product, retrieve a product. So that's what we want. So to retrieve the product, we need to visit this URL, and within the URL, this product ID is supposed to be unique. And we also need to authenticate using the Stripe secret. So I'll just copy this after here, then go back to Stripe. Just add another HTTP request, which is just search for HTTP. Then within the HTTP, we are using the get request. So at the end of the URL is where we pass the product ID. So I'll just remove this and replace that with the product ID variable, which is somewhere here. So we have the price, have the product. So I'll just drag this and put it there. Make sure that this is correct, no white spaces. So after that, we need the authentication. Of course, we are going to use the generic and the basic auth. I know there are a lot of credentials there already. So the most previous one that we created, which is just the same as what we've used in the previous authentication, is there, unnamed credential 4. So I'll select that. Then I should be able to execute this. And you see that we get more data here. So now from this data, we get the product information. So we have the description of the product. We even have the image URL of the product. We have the product name. So we have all the information that we need. So after that, we now need to save this in the Excel sheet, our temporary database. So let me just drag everything to the left. So I'll go ahead and just visit Google Console so that I'm able to connect to the Excel sheet. Before maybe I connect to the Excel sheet, I'll need to create one. So I'll just search for Google Sheets. Google Sheets like that. Just click on the first, then sign in. When I sign in, I'll create a new spreadsheet. Then within our spreadsheet, I'll just rename it to payments. Let's just call it payments. Yeah. Then what I want, first of all, I need product ID so that we know which product our customer is paying for. After product ID, we need product name. Then we also need product description. But from product description, we need the price. We need the name of the customer who paid for the product. So customer name. We also need customer email, customer's email. Let's just try to improve the English here. Customer's email, customer's name, product price. Let's just call it a price. So product description. Then we also need the date when the product payment was made. Just select everything and try to format my. So wrap. Then select it again and do the formatting, align everything to the left. And again, I'll align everything to the top, so top left like that. And I'll just try to expand a little. That. So I'll save this. Probably just set my header, give it some background color, yeah, push. And I'll also increase the font size and make it bold and make the color maybe white. That. Then save it. After that, we now need to connect this to n8n. So need a Google console. So console.google.com is the URL. I have a list of projects created here already. So our purpose or the objective is Stripe. We don't want to spend time here. I'll just create a credential for the connection under the project that I've selected. I already have several credentials here. We are going to use the auth0. So I'll create a new credential. It's the auth client ID. I'll select the application type. as a web application. Then I'll add the authorized redirect URL. So I'll come back to the workflow and search for Google Sheets. That I want to append a row in the sheet. Append or update. So I want to append a row, a new row. So that is what I want. Credentials, I'll create a new credentials. What it's amended, then the direct URL is this one. So if I click on it, it's going to copy. Let's click on add that, paste, then create. So when I create, it's going to give me the client ID. This is very private information, but I'll delete the credentials after recording the video. So I'll put the client ID here. Then I'll need the client secret. So I'll put the client secret and paste it here. Then I'll go ahead and save. After saving, I'll just click OK. And that is going to be created there. So I'll come back here and click on sign in with Google. Then I'll sign in with my Gmail account that is managing the console account. Click on advanced. Then I'll continue. You can see there's a successful connection. So I'll click on this section here. Now we are able to select the document because we have the credentials. So if I click on select, we have payments. I even made a very wrong spelling, but let's just work with it. So it's having one sheet. So just select the same sheet, which is sheet 1. Then we need now to pass now the credentials. So the product ID is of course going to come from here. So just drag that and drop it there. Then the product name is listed somewhere here. So the product name is there. I'll just drag it and drop it there. Then the product description is also listed in this same node. I mean module or node. Okay. For it, description is this one, product 2. So I'll drop it there. Then the price is going to be in cents. It's not indicated here, but it's indicated in the other node. So select that node. For the price, I'm just going to take the subtotal because there's no tax and anything else. That. Then we have the customer's name. It's not indicated here, but in the first node, which is the trigger. So the customer somewhere down here. Name. So I'll just drop it there. And the customer's email is also here. So drop it. Then for the date, we're going to use the formatted date from the code. So select that, then drag and drop. Then I'll go ahead and execute this because I've filled all the fields. Have a successful execution. So if I go to the Google Sheet, see that all the information has been updated. So now if you go to production and there is any payment that comes in, it means that this is going to be successful. It's going to be added there. So I'll go ahead and save this so that we now have a working workflow. We can maybe run one test, but I think that is enough because we've already done that in production. So thank you for taking your time to watch the video. Hope it has helped somewhere. case you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section and I'll respond.